So you guys ready for World War III or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I just hope
I
I
know
get.
what side I'm on.
Oh yeah, it's easy. I just hope I get to watch the Silver Surfer movie before the fucking nuclear apocalypse breaks out. Please, Lord.
Nah, that's not happening.
Please, Lord, let me watch it. I just want to see it.
Not happening.
Just get me right, please. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get right.
Yep.
Anyway, welcome, folks. Episode 67.
67.
That's right.
2 away.
Mm-hmm.
2 away from the
2
big
away
7-0.
from a very nice. No, you can't count. What the fuck?
It's 67.
Come on, Dan.
I said 7-0.
Quick mass.
What
Yeah,
did I
you
say?
said 2 away, buddy.
Oh,
I said
2
2
away.
away.
2 away. I'm sorry. Come on. Leave me alone. My allergies are bothering me. Right?
Quick maths. Yeah, quick maths.
Anyway,
Hate to see it.
this is 67. We don't need to count for that one. We're checking out
Yep.
No One Will Save You a little bit later on in the show. Stick around to hear our thoughts on that movie.
Yeah.
And make sure, again, check out harshlanguage.tv for all our links and shit. We have a new episode every Tuesday for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time we do. Most of the time.
Yeah, whole Wednesday if I
Yeah.
fuck around.
Yeah. It's no big deal. I almost fell asleep on you guys, so
Dang.
yeah, we're good.
Mm.
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
So how's your guys' week?
Pretty chill.
Yeah?
Not too much. No. I haven't watched anything.
No,
been
me
reading
Finally
the
neither.
manga.
back home.
Yeah, you've finally made the journey back.
Yep, only for a few weeks. Then I got to get on the road again.
Damn, you shipping out again?
Yeah,
Dang.
Starting to
going
think,
back to California at the end of the month for a couple months.
Dusty's like
Oh.
a fucking secret agent or some shit. He's like a international spy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't
What
been
about
watching. I haven't been watching anything either. Although I did watch a movie with a friend of mine. We watched the new Haunted Mansion movie. Did you get to watch that, Dusty? I remember we talked about it.
No,
No.
my niece wanted to watch it while I was there, but we were gonna watch Loki instead, so we didn't. I didn't get a
Okay.
chance to watch it.
But I gotta say, it wasn't
Oh,
too
Loki.
bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. It was kind of like a cute little movie, you know, a little PG-13.
Right.
Little
Have you seen
movie.
the original?
Yeah, the one with Eddie Murphy.
Is it better or is it comparative or about?
I don't even remember that one. This one is like
Right.
specifically based off of the ride from Disney. I don't know if the Eddie Murphy one was or not, but this was like specifically inspired by the ride, and it had like a lot
Yeah.
of like Easter eggs from the ride. I don't have either of you ever been on the Haunted Mansion?
No.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. Well, then
Never.
never mind. I won't even bother going into it. But there's a lot of like references and Easter eggs about it. But I mean, it was like it was a cool movie. It was pretty funny at times. Sometimes it tried a little too hard to be funny, and then it wasn't funny. But yeah, no, it was good. Ultimate, it got a little tear out of me, honestly, a couple times.
Mm.
Not just a little tear. It got me one of those fucking. At one point, I had one of those like those burly man cries where you're just like, fucking hit me
Dang.
good. Yeah. So
Wow.
it was good. It wasn't like amazing, and but it was cute. Nice little movie.
Nice.
Other than
You
that,
think they
I
should
watched
have
The
released
Equalizer
it on,
3.
wait, say that again, Marvin.
You think they should have released it like during this month instead of September?
I don't
Would it
know.
matter?
No. It's not like a scary movie. It's just like about ghosts, but it's like not scary at all.
Well, I think they planned that so that they released it theatrically so that it would hit digital around this time.
They got to
Yeah.
sell them subscriptions.
Yep. Gotta
That's
get
true.
that Disney Plus sub.
What were you saying, Dusty? You watched Equalizer 3? Hang on, I got to get my phone charger.
Yeah. I was surprised too. I didn't know this, but Dakota Fanning is in it, which
Yeah, I saw that.
it took me like their first scene together, which wasn't even a scene together. Like he was talking to her on the phone. I'm like, wait a second, is that? And then I looked and I'm like, yeah, it is. Cause it doesn't really look, cause me remembering her as like Man on Fire when she's a little kid with Denzel.
They did
Still
some
seeing them together again.
They did some
Oh, yeah.
promo shots of
Yeah.
like sort of like redoing like stills from Man on Fire of them two together.
That's a good conclusion to the series, though. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot better than like the first one's amazing. The second one's just kind of meh. It was okay, but this one was really good conclusion.
One of my friends hates the first one, and I was like, it's not like I never thought it was like amazing, but it was like pretty fun. Second one was a little bit over the top, but whatever.
Yeah,
to be expected.
Yeah, this one was a little more. They took him out of his element a little bit, and
second one's
some.
The one where he's like fighting during like the fucking hurricane and shit, right?
Yeah, he's like working at a mall, I think, or a Lowe's or a Home Depot or some shit.
No, but at the end, he's like the climax is him like fighting his fucking former like fucking army guy, and they're like in the fucking storm by the beach. I'm pretty sure that's the second one. I'm almost positive. But
it's been a while since I've seen that one.
No, I'll check that out. I also wanted to watch The Meg too. I've been looking forward to that. As funny as that sounds, the first one was like hilarious.
No, it's a fun little movie.
Yeah.
It's over the top stuff, but it's kind of like I don't know what you'd relate it to.
Nothing really. Deep Blue Sea, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
not even. Deep Blue Sea like thought it was serious.
I love Deep Blue Sea.
This movie, Meg 2 definitely doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like, it's over the top ridiculous, but it's fun.
You've watched it?
Yeah.
The first one was ridiculous too, but like sort of.
Yeah, but this one's like Statham fucking driving around on a fucking jet ski,
like a jet ski
harpoon,
fighting
like
fucking
fighting
sharks.
Megs. What?
Yeah. You're a Deep Blue Sea guy, huh, Marvin?
I love that movie.
I've watched
it. It's got fucking LL Cool J and Samuel Jackson in one movie. That's
big. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes you got to overlook everything about the movie.
I remember I watched that shit like 1,000 times when I was younger because it was back when I had like illegal cable. So I used to get like pay-per-view for free, and that was just like always on for some reason back then.
I mean, as far as shark movies goes, it's better than most.
I mean, there haven't been that many shark movies.
I mean, there's tons of them.
To be fair.
The pool is limited.
Yeah, we ain't going to talk about Sharknado, but like if you take like serious shark movies, it's like Jaws and like the one that came out like a bunch of years ago, the indie film, I can't remember the name of it. Where the chick is like...
I don't know, there's the one, the surfer, she gets like stranded on a rock where there's a dead whale out in the ocean, the shark's feeding on it. Yeah, that one's not too bad.
That's the one I was thinking of. And then there's like Deep Blue Sea and The Meg. There's like not many sharks.
Then there's some where, they go down in the shark cage and get stuck in the cage. And
I will say the plot of Deep Blue Sea was always kind of fun and interesting. How they're like trying to use like the sharks like regenerative tissue.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah. Well, the scientists were experimenting on sharks to try to cure Alzheimer's.
Oh, that's
Alzheimer's, cancer, and other things like that. Yeah, because sharks are...
I couldn't tell you the plot of Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, but, things went awry when they started, like... Because they beefed up the fucking sharks to try to, like, accelerate...
Made them too smart. Yeah.
They tried to accelerate the regeneration, so they made them too smart. And they're, like, plotting against the fucking facility and shit. Yeah, that's where it gets a little bit off the rails, but it's like, whatever. That Samuel L. Jackson scene, though, is iconic, where he's, like, giving his big fucking pump-up speech, and then he just gets fucking snatched. Yeah, that's funny.
It's great.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Ahsoka's
CGI
over.
too.
Did you finish that, Dan?
No, not even close. I'm on.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll finish it.
I'll have to hit up the recap for that one probably.
I watched that.
Looking good for me.
Don't even bother.
You watched the first couple episodes and you're like, let Dave cook, and now you're just like, I'm not gonna finish it. What happened?
Well, that one episode was good, and then the next one was just bad again, and then I stopped, and then I realized, like, oh, you know what? Like, this shit is over with. Like, I'm sick of it. Really, it's just not. It's not good. It's not, and it's not really like about anything. Like, it's solely 100.
You didn't let him cook.
No, because he's not cooking. That's the thing.
You didn't.
The food is raw. It's fucking raw.
You kill somebody. No, he's making this, like, he's crafting this world that's like 100% based on things you've had to watch in the past. And it's stupid, and I fucking hate it, and we've talked about it a million times. And like, they don't even build her up as like that big of a like, her character arc is past. Like it ends at Anakin and her's relationship. They did that. and now the show's bad. And it's like the choreography in the show is like bad. Like it's like lazy.
There's some cheesy choreography in it.
There's scenes where they're like just dodging like they're doing the lightsaber like laser fucking dodging thing, and it just looks so unenthusiastic. I'm backing away to like try to show you. It's just like
yeah, she was fighting.
Well, I said that from the start. I feel like this is for people who watched the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels or read the books Heir to the Empire, those three Thrawn books that came out. Like this is really fan service for all those people, but he's also building a world kind of outside the Force that I like, where it's not just Jedi and Sith that are Force users, because you got the witches and Mandalorians and whatnot. So and then the gray or the Jedi who Balin, which sucks because I mean his story isn't finished and he's dead in real life. So I don't know how they end his story in the show.
Yeah. I don't know. They
can't be dying.
What's that?
But
can't be dying.
No, you can't.
No. I mean, well, Disney. I mean, that's not beyond Disney to CGI somebody. They've done it before, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's over now, and now Loki started up. So you didn't watch that either.
No, I was gonna let.
I haven't even watched the first season of Loki. I was just telling Vince about this.
Oh, did you?
He was like, "Wow."
You didn't get to see alligator.
He
Loki.
was upset.
First season of Loki. I just hit you guys.
Alligator Loki.
Hit you guys with the pinky. I just realized the sip pinky.
No,
that's a strong pinky.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. I would know. How is your pinky doing these days, Marvin?
Oh man, look at this.
Oh, that's good. Shit. You shifting?
Oof. Wow, look at that, all the angles. Yeah.
Wow, you're shifting now? You even controlling and shifting too?
I can hit any fucking button.
Oh, let's go.
Damn.
Nice.
I wish I had buttons on the side. I'd be able to hit them motherfuckers too.
Told you, all you have to do is train. Folks, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, when I met Marvin, this motherfucker used to tuck his pinky into his hand when playing video games.
Yeah, speaking of Scary Movie 2, my pinky was his fucking strong hand. Yeah. I had his pinky.
Yeah, oh my
shit
God.
Was all shriveled up. Couldn't even hit the shift button. Caps lock, nope, everything. The whole side just didn't exist for my pinky.
Yeah, the weakest pinky known to man. But he's good now. He's back.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is good.
Leveled up, baby. Pinky's maxed out.
Yeah. Yeah, but just to finish, just to real quick circle back to Ahsoka, I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in anything that he's trying to do, really. At the end, like I realized that when I watched that, like the last episode that I watched, I don't know which number it was, but like I don't give a fuck about Thrawn. I don't give a fuck about Ahsoka, really. I don't give a fuck about any of it. And The Mandalorian, the last season, it was terrible. I don't care what anybody says. It was the fucking 8 episodes of fucking them in a desert, like arguing over whether or not they should wear helmets and shit. It's like, it's meaningless to me. And honestly, all the shit that he's trying to do is completely invalidated by the existence of the new trilogy. The new trilogy is so fucking bad.
Damn.
Because, no, well, hear me out. Because the Star Wars is about, funny enough, because well, I won't get into it because it's a touchy subject, but Star Wars is about a band of fucking rebels that get together and like scrape together like every little blast bit of fucking hope they can muster to like take down the Empire. That's why Andor was so fucking good, because it's like about that without all the Jedi shit, right? But the original Star Wars trilogy is about that. Yeah, you get fucking Vader and the Skywalker shit and all that good stuff. All right, cool. But their victory is meaningless because the new trilogy exists. And thus, all this shit that they're showing us with Ahsoka is meaningless because Ahsoka is largely about, it takes place like after the fall of the Empire, and it's about like the new Republic, like forming and like dealing with all these like little pockets of fucking resistance from like Empire holdouts and stuff like that. So whatever happens at the end of the show, I don't know because I didn't finish it. It's just invalidated because the Empire fucking wins in the end and the rebels lose. And that to me is so fucking stupid.
Well, if you're not going to watch it, I can spoil it for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't give a fuck.
So Thrawn, they find Ezra and Thrawn escapes, and Ezra manages to sneak onto the ship. So Thrawn and Ezra made it back to the galaxy, but Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck in the galaxy where Thrawn and Ezra were for all these years, where they couldn't find them. So they left it open on a huge cliffhanger, like they're going to make a season 2, or they're going to have to explain it in the movie. So who knows? But
and then
it was a very disappointing cliffhanger, but I mean, it's the story. And they're going to have to end a lot of these characters because most of them aren't in the new sequel trilogy. So they're going to have to explain that away when Dave Filoni finally makes his culmination movie, which is probably everybody dying, including Ahsoka. So we'll see.
And then it's like, then they have to like connect somehow how Thrawn like led to the New Order, First Order. Just the new trilogy just invalidates like all of Star Wars, and I prefer to just pretend it never existed, just like I do with like Halloween, for instance. I just only accept the first one as canon, and I just ignore everything else because it like how do you it just invalidates everything that happened, and that to me is just a crime because
whack.
You like you have you have 6 movies. I'll even include the prequel trilogy because the prequels at least strengthen the original trilogy in a way, because it's just showing you how like the fucking snowball happened to where the Empire rose to power. And it's like Empire rises, Anakin turns to the dark side, fucking Padme dies, all the politics of it. And then you see the fall of the Empire all those years later with the New Hope in Luke Skywalker, the Return of the Jedi with Luke Skywalker, like ushering in the new age of like peace in the galaxy. Just for like 15 years later, it's like, oh, well, the First Order's here now. Sorry. Fuck you, Luke. And like Luke's some crusty hermit on a fucking rock somewhere. It's just really, it's fucking stupid. Anyhow, to answer your question about Loki, no, I have not watched the first episode yet. I was going to wait to let a couple of them build up so I could binge watch it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, this is a pretty good start. Yeah.
I saw some.
Yeah, I was wondering how long they were going to wait to introduce Ki-Hee Kwan's Ouroboros, but he's in the first episode and he's in it a lot. So it was a good episode.
Trying to avoid some spoilers, but you know your boy Ryan Aries out there with the fucking thumbnails, fucking 2 seconds after the show airs. And
I also watched Tetris.
Oh, that's about like the guy who made Tetris, right?
Yeah, Taron Egerton.
Is it a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. I like those because I recently watched Blackberry, and I also watched Air, and I actually went back and looked at this. Every one of those movies is about a product that came out, and then like its rise or fall or how it's continued to rise. All 3 of those movies are rated exactly 7.4 on IMDb, which I thought was fascinating because
interesting.
You know, what's going on with the metrics there? Like, one could be a 7.2 or one could be they're all 7.4. That's wild. Weird.
I heard.
I was like, I don't know which one I like better. And I had to look. Yeah.
They paid a lot of money to get that 7.4.
I heard Air was really good. I also heard that that movie Dumb Money or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's still in theaters.
I forgot about that.
I heard that's really good. My buddy George saw it. And he said it's a really good movie. Wait. And he said it like perfectly encapsulates like what the pandemic was like, but from like
I need to see that.
Like a mundane, like
GameStop
everyday.
And what was the other one?
GME, baby. Oh no, that's GameStop.
That is GameStop.
It was GameStop, and
Yahoo was more recently.
It was GameStop, and then the other one. What the fuck was the other one?
Not Yahoo. AMC.
AMC, yeah.
AMC, yeah. I made some money on that one.
I don't know how you confuse those.
Bought a 10, sold a 50. Let's go.
I did do something this weekend.
What'd you do?
I went to see the new Saw movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I was giving you a little shit for it.
First time back in the theaters. It's been like 4 years more, maybe. It's been a long time.
And you go see something?
Do you go like downtown or do you go away from?
You tell me because I can't remember what the last thing I saw was in the movie. Sorry, what'd you say?
You go downtown or you stay away from the strip and you go to stuff like that?
Nah, I can't be going down there. Them fucking crackheads down there. I went to it's the Aliante is the casino hotel and the theater is a Regal. It's a Regal theaters. Yeah. They got a pretty good deal like for the ticket or whatever, the membership. Like if you get the membership, it's like $20 or $22 a month and you get like unlimited fucking movies.
The
Yeah.
last theater I went to was in
2D,
Folsom.
obviously, but
They used to have that
They
shit
had the
back in the
reclining
day.
seats and the tables and
oh
shit.
yeah, reclining seats. I had that at this little like private theater or whatever, like not like a major chain. When I was in North Carolina, it was amazing.
They used to have those packages. I think I subscribed to it back in the day when I used to go to the movies like all the fucking time. And it's worth it if you go to the movies a lot.
If you go, yeah. Even if you go nowadays, even the basic tickets are like $13. So
I just don't go to the movies that much anymore. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like my buddy George still likes going to the movies because he likes the theater experience. And to be fair, I do too. But like I'm only going,
sick. Yeah,
I'm
I
only
missed
going
that.
to see like Marvel movies at this point.
yeah, yeah. I
I'm in the
mean,
middle of nowhere. That's a little
I would
drive
have
for me to
saw
go to the
like
theater.
I don't know, dude. If I had one of those memberships and it's like right down the street, basically, I
Yeah.
don't know. I could see myself going more.
If you got a theater close to you, sure. I have one like literally up the block from my house. So
Right.
it's not that big of a deal.
You
But
got a membership?
I don't know if they do. I should look into it actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, how was Saw?
Seems-
How was Saw fucking 17?
Oh man, it actually was really good. They
Was
didn't
it?
lean as much on the gore, and it had like a good plot.
Okay.
It was like
Okay.
2 hours. Yeah, and it takes place like in between. So it's kind of like a flashback in between some of the other movies. So it set.
No,
it
yeah,
built
they
some
had to,
more
right?
story.
Because Jigsaw's dead, right? In
Yeah,
later movies.
they wanted to capitalize on him.
These movies are about his
Yeah.
legacy, like I think they've been, right? Like more like copycats.
His
and shit.
protege, well, his proteges and I think and copycats.
His
The
protege.
Chris Rock
yeah.
one was terrible.
His
I don't know if
protege.
you guys remember that one.
I never watched it. His protege is the chick from the first one who had the fucking reverse bear trap on her face.
Yeah, I
right?
think her name is Amanda.
Yeah, she had the pig head thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still in it. Like she's
Mhm.
still the killer.
Well, that was a flashback, so I don't know. I
Oh.
actually haven't seen any of the recent ones.
It probably doesn't even matter. I haven't watched one in a really long time.
It's
Yeah.
just about having a choice, you know,
The gore
cut
is
your
pretty
arm
good.
off or die.
Yeah, the gore was pretty good, and the plot was really good actually.
Nice.
And of course, it had the really good twist, but it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like a good climax twist for Jigsaw instead of something that was like, this makes no fucking sense. So I liked it. It was good.
You guys know I'm always predicting shit when we watch stuff. Like I'm always saying like, I saw that shit coming. That's one of the few movies that had me fucking fooled, boy. That original Saw, when he
Yeah.
fucking just stands up and you're just like, oh fuck,
Oh,
that
shit.
shit is him.
That was.
Yeah, I never suspected that shit.
Yeah.
I think I even guessed fucking the twist in fucking Sixth Sense back when I first watched that, like way back in the day when it came out. That's how good
Damn,
I am,
Sixth
people.
Sense. I don't know if I've seen Sixth Sense.
Really? Ooh, that'd be a good make
Oh,
modern
yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense.
So give the people
Bruce
a rating,
Willis
Marvin.
and
Oh,
little
I seen
kid that
this
sees
maybe as
dead
a kid.
people. Yeah.
No. Oh, that okay. Give Saw.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Rate Saw. What is it? What are you giving it?
Honestly, it was also my first. Fuck it. I would probably say it's
Fuck
like
it.
like a 7.5.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
think so.
high. I might have to watch it then. It's on par with
It's getting good reviews.
IMDb. It's 7.1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have to do homework and watch all the previous ones to know what was going on?
No, not at all.
Ooh, okay.
Well, C's a big fan, so she gave me like a little breakdown. But
Okay.
I
besides
was going to
that,
say, did you watch a refresher or did you got
Yeah.
one at IRL?
no, I
That
just
makes
got one.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I might have to watch it then. 7.5, this guy said. Jesus. That's
Yeah.
big.
Honestly, as long as you know like the premise of Saw and you're familiar with some of the characters, it
Right.
doesn't matter which you've seen. You'll
Okay.
get it.
All right. That's good news. Maybe I'll check
Yeah.
that shit out. So my mom got a new iPhone. The whole family got new iPhones. They switched to like
Oh.
T-Mobile or something. That fucking gesture shit, dude. She's like never gonna figure that out.
What is it? Like
She's-
3-finger gestures and shit?
No, you remember how like the iPhone they got rid of the button, so you just swipe to do everything.
Oh, so she had the button one before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
She had
What's
one
the
of
home
those.
last
button,
button
whatever it's
iPhone?
called.
Like a 5?
I don't even
6?
know. 8 maybe.
Oh, maybe it's.
And I
maybe it
think
was
that's
that.
what
Are
she
they on
had.
The 15?
15, yeah. She got a 13.
Pro Max Ultra Super Duper.
She's treating that shit like she's going to the fucking electric chair. She's like, Danny, you have to show me how to use this later.
Yeah, this.
I'm like, all right. Jesus Christ. I just wanted to. I just thought about that because he was talking about getting the Google Pixel or whatever.
Oh, it's coming, babe. Well, it should be here this week. It releases
Didn't
on
you
AI
just,
photos.
12th.
Why are you getting a new phone?
You own your likeness now.
You just got that phone. What are you doing, Marvin?
Well, no, I've had this one for a while, and this was already a used phone when I got it. So
okay.
This isn't a brand new phone.
That's fair.
I got this off of some website, OfferUp or something.
Oh, right. I do remember that.
Like $100, yeah.
The great transition.
Yep.
You still on that fucking Google Fi life?
Oh man, Google Fi is amazing. Yeah, I am. Actually, I'm financing my phone through Google Fi.
Oh, they let you do that only for Google Fi.
Yeah. And they gave me $400 off.
Nice.
There's a brand new phone, $400 off. I'm only paying like $20 a month or so.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's really good. Yeah.
I'm waiting to pay off my iPhone so I could fucking skip town on Verizon. Fuck them. But that shit is so expensive.
It's pointless nowadays.
Yep. All right.
Especially if you're not grandfathered in some shit, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. My bills.
I don't even think there is grandfathering in on phones anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
They can't. They fucking cancel Christmas.
I've been on AT&T forever, and
So Dusty, what do you got for us this week?
News. We got a little bit of news. We don't have a whole lot. But we got a little bit. Well, I guess we'll talk about the strike first. The WGA strike. Obviously, the Writers Guild strike has ended. It's ended. But they have officially, as of today, ratified their agreement with AMPTP. So today the voting ended whether to ratify or not ratify, and they ratified it. So they're locked into a 3-year contract now.
Nice.
So we probably won't have anything to worry about with strikes for another 3 years for writers, unless, something drastic happens. But who knows?
But the other strike is still ongoing.
Yes, the SAG strike, the Screen Actors Guild. The actors are still striking, and that's why the writers and directors can go and talk to media outlets about movies and shows, but actors still can't. And some are saying that's why a lot of these summertime movies struggled, because actors weren't able to go out and promote them. Only directors were, or producers. So but they were in 3 days of what they call productive negotiations this last week, but no, nothing has changed. No end in sight. They're still far away on certain things. I don't know when they're supposed to go into negotiations again, but this is the 88th day for the SAG strike. I forget what the WGA one is. I think it was like 147 or something like that. 148. 88th. But this one is on day 88. Yeah, the WGA strike was one of the longest strikes in Hollywood.
Yep.
And then in other news, a Guggenheim Securities Research report citing Media Radar said that the strikes have already cost TV networks $1.6 billion in lower advertising spending. So they're really trying to get this deal locked in so that they can be ready for the 2024 seasons of shows and movies that they want to get out. But we'll see.
Okay. I saw James Gunn was out here fucking flapping his gums again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready to. Yeah, I'm going to be announcing the rest of the cast for Superman as soon as these strikes are over. I'll be able to talk about it. And then fucking Matt Shackman.
A couple of those.
Matt Shackman said they got the cast for Fantastic Four. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's in the news.
I got to let him cook, Marvin.
John Cena returned to wrestling. You guys talked about The Rock returning, which I don't know that he actually returned to wrestle. John Cena actually returned to wrestle in Indiana just this last week. He was in a tag team duo. But he's not going to stay in wrestling, is what he said. The liability insurance and all of his employees and stuff, he said if he were to continue in wrestling when the SAG strike ends, he can't do movies and wrestling at the same time, because if he gets hurt, he can't do movies and people lose their jobs.
Yeah, people working directly for him.
Way too much, which is, I guess so, yeah. Which is ironic, because he had a beef with The Rock for a long time, because when The Rock left, like, he wasn't happy with The Rock because he thought The Rock was basically abandoning wrestling to pursue film and television.
Yeah.
And now here he is saying, nah, I ain't going to stay in wrestling if I'm doing TV and movies. So.
And it's funny too, because they they made John Cena like the replacement to The Rock.
Yeah.
I never liked
it. Kind
John
of worked.
Nah, hated John Cena. He was never the Rock.
John Cena was sick.
Marvin, you stop it right now. Nah. Motherfucker wrestled in jorts, bro. What are you talking
It was
about?
the biggest meme on the internet for a long time. It was so great.
Looks like fucking Slim Shady with that fucking Bane fucking Venom fucking shit.
Bro, he got fucking... He had the denim shorts, no shirt with the fucking tennis shoe, no name tennis shoes on, bro.
Let me tell you something. No one will ever come close to The Rock. That's just facts. That's just facts.
John Cena is up there, bro. I listened to John Cena's album. That shit's fire.
Nah, there ain't no way.
What?
I don't believe you.
Had it. Vince or Marcus or one of my cousins had the fucking physical copy of that shit. Shouts out.
You
don't know about
on to
shit,
WB. Since we already talked about James Gunn, we'll go to that one first. Still answering questions about the DCU on Twitter, even though he said he was going to stop doing that or slow down. He did confirm that Peacemaker Season 2 will take place in the new DCU, and it will also address the reboot. Somebody asked him that on Twitter. It's like, does it take place in the new DCU and or will it address the reboot? He said yes and yes.
Nice.
And obviously he also said the Superman Legacy cast will be announced. But yeah, that's really, we don't have a lot of DCU news right now because he's busy writing and shit, and nobody can talk about it. So
I need to figure it out before they put out any news. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Other WB news, though. Michael Mann confirms Heat 2 will be his next film and teases he may actually reteam with Adam Driver to star as the young Neil McCauley, which is the character played by Robert De Niro in the original, 1995 film.
Damn, Hollywood.
WB is right now in talks to join. They did the first one, but they're not official yet. But I have it on WB News because they did the first one, and they'll probably do the second one. But
they're even getting fucking Michael Mann to fucking pump out sequels now. What the fuck?
Well, he wrote the book, and the book was a New York Times bestseller, and so he's like, "Yeah, I'm now my next project is going to be Heat 2." So, and it's a prequel to Heat.
I remember. Came out like not too long ago, right?
The book came out within the last year or two. It was
like that beginning of summer, I feel like.
Yeah, it was a bestseller, so he's gonna put that one. I mean, it's a moneymaker. Somebody's gonna buy the rights to distribute it. And he's gonna
wrote the sequel to someone else's book.
Yeah, he did.
No, he's pretty sure he wrote the first one too.
No,
I just looked it up. It was Michael Lupira or something.
He didn't write.
Was it? Oh,
he just
okay.
He directed.
I thought he wrote the first one too.
It's just one of the best movies ever made. It should be. Leave it as is. Enough. Same with The Exorcist.
One I need to watch.
You guys see the reviews of this Exorcist movie? Somebody needs to fucking lock David Gordon Green in a basement until he.
I mean, they projected it to what, 30 million, and it hit 28, so it fell a little bit short. But opening weekend, it still did pretty close to what they thought.
Yeah, it's called The Exorcist. It's gonna make money. It's getting shit on that. It's like terrible. Yeah. And this fucking between this and Halloween, like. David Gordon Green.
Fucking destroying everything.
Go back to call Seth Rogen. Go back, make a sequel to Pineapple Express or something. Stay away from.
That's what we need.
I didn't put this in the news because I didn't really care. But since you brought him up, I'm gonna say it anyways. He actually said his horror, ultimate project would be doing a Nightmare on Elm Street film.
No.
Well, I mean, because the last reboot kind of fell short and they haven't done one since, but he's like, I know there's a rights issue, but I would love to do a Nightmare on Elm Street film.
Nah, please, God, keep him away.
Wait, David Gordon Green?
Yeah.
Wait, yes. I thought he was talking about something else. Oh, no.
This guy's got to stop.
Nah.
Someone put his ass in fucking jail until he gets over making fucking horror sequels or requels. Because let me tell you something. He fucking... He's
gonna destroy everything. He's on a mission.
He destroyed my fucking shit.
All your faves.
Although Halloween 2018 was like, it was okay. The other two, whew, man, bad. And then he
did. Oh no, yeah. Never mind.
I didn't see this Exorcist yet, but from what I'm hearing, it is like real bad. It's got like a 5 something on IMDb. Like
5.2.
There's the
that is bad. That's bad for like a mainstream
Pet
director.
Cemetery
too.
Bloodlines.
He didn't do
That
that.
one came out on,
Green.
I think, Hulu or Paramount Plus. It's like a prequel, I think, to the Pet Cemetery movie.
Yeah.
So we got that one out too. But yeah, the last piece of WB, Furiosa. George Miller's Mad Max prequel is on schedule to have its premiere at the 2024 Cannes Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously not set in stone because the whole SAG strike is going on. But Fury Road also debuted there, and they loved debuting that there. So they'd be happy to host it if it happens. So, yeah, the new George Miller
love
movie
Mad
might
Max
debut
Fury
there.
Road.
It's
Actually,
good.
Have you seen the old ones, Mel Gibson?
Nope.
Oh, man. That's got to be on that Make Marvin watch, too.
Oh, it's 3 of them? Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy Mel.
All right, well, on to Disney. Okay, Loki executive producer Kevin Wright wants a reunion with Loki and Thor. And he
shit.
teases that the season 2 has laid the foundation for this possibility. The brothers have not seen each other since, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a
Endgame.
while.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think,
When Loki
yeah,
dies
you're
in the
right,
beginning. Oh, I guess they kind of see
Um,
each other in Endgame when Thor goes back
Yeah.
to in the past, but
Yeah. A third season
Damn
of
reunion.
Loki has not been confirmed or even reported on. And he says while the finale is open-ended, it doesn't tee up a new season. So this might be the end of the Loki show, the way he says it. Like, it's open-ended, but it's not teeing up season 3. So I guess depending on how it goes is what Disney will do with it. But that could be in a season 3 of Loki and or in a film beyond that where Loki shows up and Thor's in it. But who knows? I mean, if Chris Hemsworth wants to do it, it'll be even different because it'd be weird if like somebody else was playing Thor and it was still Tom Hiddleston playing Loki.
I don't think
But,
they'll
yeah,
recast
you know.
Thor.
That'll
But
be,
I mean, it's a matter of whether he's under contract or not, or they can get him to do another film.
yeah, well,
oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened, but when Kevin Feige first pitched the Disney Plus shows, it was like, hey, in between our movies, we're going to have like little shows that have like connective tissue and like kind of little fucking, little things to set up movies and stuff. Okay, cool. What's with these fucking 4, 5, 6 season fucking plans now for all these shows? Enough. We don't need a second season
Yeah.
of Loki, and like we certainly don't need a third. I mean, I don't know how good it is, but even if it's fantastic, like we don't need a third season. People need to get over that
season
shit.
Season 2 opened up on Disney Plus with 10.9 million global views in its first 3 days. The only show bigger than that this year would have been Mandalorian season 3. And then the numbers Disney released for Ahsoka were over a 5-day spread. This was a 3-day spread, and the Ahsoka had 14 million. But of course, we know a view for Disney is defined as the total
Some
stream
bullshit.
time divided by the runtime, not an actual view, because they won't give those numbers. But
Nah.
I'm
I
getting
mean,
really
like some
sick of
kid
Disney.
could be sitting there like, I loved Ahsoka. I want to watch it 7 fucking times. I mean, that
Oh,
counts as 7 views. So,
Yep.
Right.
anyways. And then, like Dan was alluding to, Matt Shakman revealed an interview with Collider. Fantastic Forecast will be announced once the SAG strike is over. Filming will start next year in London. He was asked for story details. And he had some interesting things to say. He said, it's different in so many ways. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more. But we are doing things very differently from a story standpoint, from an approach to the filmmaking standpoint that really fits the material. I wish I could say more. I would love to, but I can't. But I think it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before, and certainly unlike anything at Marvel that you've seen before. So it's going to be different, Dan. How do you feel about that?
Hey, as long as it's fucking good, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I'm with you.
They always say that about every movie. This is going to be unlike any Marvel movie that's come yet. I mean,
Unlike anything. Yeah,
what's going to be so
you've ever
different
seen
about it?
before.
It's fucking different cast. Like, I don't.
We'll have to see. I mean, I think, and there was the whole Doctor Strange too. Both directors wanted it to be like a sci-fi space horror movie, but the original guy stepped out because of creative differences, and they brought in Sam Raimi, obviously, to finish it off.
Right.
So there are movies that they do that are a little bit different to what they're normally used to in their formulaic way of making Marvel movies these days. But it'll be interesting to see how different it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously refer back to phase 1 and 2. Like every movie felt like uniquely different,
Yeah.
And then that's why, like when they
That's
came
true.
together in Avengers, it was so dope. Now everything kind of feels very samey, which is
samey.
It is
unfortunate.
feeling really like fucking
Yeah, it's like you're just
template.
filling.
It's following a fucking template. Like
Yep.
hitting this, and this. All right, good. Ship it.
That's right. No
Yeah.
good.
All
No
right.
good, Marvin.
Yeah, it felt. It reminded me more of like back in those days when they came together. Finally, it was more like when you had any type of crossover. I guess like if you're looking forward to some type of crossover in like a cartoon or
Yeah.
something, it felt more like that. And now,
Well, because you had like, I mean, because Iron Man, Thor, and Cap are the ones that had their solo films, and I guess like Hulk, but not really. But you had.
Well, he did, but it was not.
don't be talking shit about Hulk.
No, I'm not. I'm saying each character got their own solo film. Not really Hulk because it was a different banner, but whatever the fuck you want to say. Hey, point being is that there was like.
Well, they didn't have the rights. Yeah.
Yes. Point being is that there were like 6 very unique personalities that came together, and those personalities were like, you could tell they stood apart from each other, and that built everything. And then now again, like you said, it feels like very formulaic. It's like a template, and it's just like you just drop it in a different character into like the same thing, and that's unfortunate.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Hudson Thames will be
Who's that?
voicing Spider-Man freshman year in the upcoming series. He's going to be Peter Parker. This is according to a recent copyright film filing of the first episode. He's done Spider-Man, I think, in What If and a couple other Marvel things, maybe games or
I don't know why
maybe
people are
animated
freaking
movies,
out
I
about
forget.
this.
Is
What do
it
you
this
mean?
guy that's
About him
also a
doing it?
singer, or is this what?
He's just a
Yes.
voice actor, but I saw
Yes.
like 4 headlines this week that was like, Marvel's replacing Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and then it's like, no, they're not.
No,
They're just not gonna.
animated
They're
Spider-Man.
They're just not going to pay him a boatload of money to come in and record some fucking voice lines like they didn't do with.
And I mean,
Right.
I guess I can see the uproar because Charlie Cox will be doing Daredevil in the show. So
Yeah, but
maybe
Charlie
they're like,
Cox
why
is
is
like-
Charlie Cox coming on? And
Well, because
yeah,
he's
Tom Holland,
That's a
significantly
different bag.
Yeah, exactly. He's significant. He demands a significantly less amount of money to come in and do
he's-
voice lines.
Hell yeah.
yeah. It's also notable that the copyright filing list November 2nd, 2024 is a tentative release date, but that's obviously not set in stone. And then the second season titled Sophomore Year, obviously, has already been greenlit. So
Nice. That good. huh?
Spider-Man freshman year coming out the end of next year, and then Spider-Man sophomore year it's already a go.
I don't know anything about this show, and I kind of don't give a shit, but it'd be really cool if it was like, if they did it in the Steve Ditko animation style.
They say the animation style is going to be pretty unique and more
Gonna look like fucking
on par with like the
Miles
comics and
Morales
stuff. So it
bullshit.
might be some Miles Morales bullshit. Who knows?
Would it be sick if they were able
Hey,
to like,
wait, it's not bullshit.
eh.
I actually like some of the.
Yeah, I just don't
styles
want
they
to see a
use.
whole show like that. Like leave that in its own thing. I was. It's
maybe
an
so,
opportunity.
yeah.
I mean, this is like akin to the old Batman show where you get the kapows and the booms splashed on the screen when stuff happens, and it's all cheesy and shit.
Yeah.
But who knows? And another copyright filing. We got the synopsis for the first episode of Agatha: Darkhold Diaries. No.
No, I'm just kidding.
In the first episode, we see Agatha Harkness finally break out of a spell she's been trapped in. She can't wait to go back to her old murderous ways, only to find that she is powerless. The only way forward for her is to embark on a perilous quest to get her powers back with the help of an unlikely friend or two. That's coming up.
Wow, I'm
pretty
really
soon, I
looking
believe.
forward
I
to
didn't
that
get-
show.
God, that sounds good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait to see
And then
what
the last
Agatha's
piece.
up to.
The last piece of Disney news, which, I mean, Dan already said stop making multiple seasons, but Deadline is reporting that a second season of Ahsoka is being heavily discussed. Nothing confirmed by Disney or Lucasfilm, but they are discussing it, quote unquote, heavily. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And like I said, they left it wide open. Like it was a cliffhanger. So they either have to fucking fix it in the film that he wants to make, or they have to make a second season before the film comes
You got
out. So who
motherfuckers
knows?
storming the Capitol and shit. Somebody needs to storm fucking Disney headquarters. Enough is enough with these fucking people. Like, Jesus Christ. Let it rest.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah. Just the
All
money,
right,
money
well,
talks.
But what money? There's not
On
even
to
a
the
tangible like fucking translation
That's
from
true.
like show to money. Like we don't even know if they're
I don't
profiting
understand.
off
It's
of it.
got to be there, though.
They don't
It's
even know
gotta
if they're
be there.
profiting off. It's not like they could be like, yeah, we
well,
got
they
this.
know, but we don't because they won't tell us.
Even no, how could they know for sure that like Ahsoka led to this many subscribers? I mean,
Well, they could say like if Ahsoka's 8 episodes and it cost $20 million an episode, you know, we made fucking 160 million, or it cost 160 million to make, and then we
From
made
that
this much off subscriptions because this many people
Yeah.
watched it. Like they can do the math on that. That's
I
pretty
guess,
easy.
I guess.
But
There's probably analytics.
Hmm.
They can see which
Yeah,
accounts
there's-
only watching Ahsoka, some shit, you know?
they got AI on the
That's
job.
fair. I'm sick of
ChatGPT is
it.
telling them
Enough.
to keep making them.
Enough is enough.
beef is with
Somebody's
AI.
got to
Hey.
stand up.
Real quick, speaking of AI, did you guys see how Zuckerberg did that metaverse interview with God, what's the guy?
Oh,
What's the fucking guy?
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
That shit was fucking trippy.
Nah, I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
the guy
what was
that
it?
does all the
They
interviews.
took scan. They basically took scans of both of the guy Lex
Lex
what's
Friedman?
the
Lex
guy?
Friedman.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
an
yeah,
interview
yeah.
with Mark
He did,
Zuckerberg.
They
fully
did it
in the
entirely in the
metaverse.
metaverse. Yeah.
They took scans of their face
I hate
in
him.
all these different types of scenarios, and basically it looks really good. I don't know,
Okay.
and it looks pretty cool.
I fucking hate Lex Friedman.
What?
Mm.
I used
Why?
to
How
I used
could
to
you
like
hate
him. Because he comes off as like he's so fucking just fucking milk
He's a
toast.
scientist. You wouldn't get it.
He's just milk toast about everything.
He's kind of like them Joe Rogan interviews. Doesn't really take a harsh stance or push the issue. He
yeah,
just
he
lets
just-
them
No, he's
talk
not.
and
No, he'll
walks
have- He'll have Hitler
he
on,
kinda
and then
does.
He's
he'll
a scientist.
no stop it. He'll have fun.
No, he's a smart guy. He's a scientist. There's no doubting that. It's just like he's not. He's an easy interview because he doesn't push any
he
subject
has
too
no
hard or
opinion on
force-
anything. He has somebody
Right.
on, and then
Mm.
he'll have Hitler on, and then not fucking push back, and then he'll go on Twitter and be like, "I just want us to all love again."
That's
it's
fair.
like-
I don't watch those interviews with people that I
Yeah.
don't want to watch. So
He has some interesting interviews that are good watches, but most of them I'm like, nah, I'm not interested.
I used to like him, but he's like he's like the guy that like he's like fucking he's like Rick and Morty for like boneheads. Like it like fucking idiots watch him and Joe Rogan
Wow.
and then think they're smart. And then if you don't listen to Lex Friedman, you need to get educated. It's like, okay, dude. I have a friend that I know
sounds
of.
personal.
No, because I mean I know people that listen to him. One of whom is like clinically fucking slow, and like
Whoa.
we'll listen to Lex Friedman and then try to fucking like
No, this-
have conversations about shit. And I'm just like, bro, you sound like a fucking idiot. Like, what do you? You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, like fucking Brett Weinstein was on fucking Lex Friedman talking about like vaccines and it's like, dude, shut the fuck. Like,
Nah, I would never watch that.
yeah, no, I just don't. I can't like I cannot respect a person like him or Rogan who have big audiences that like seem to not understand like how big their audience is
Yeah.
and like push back. It's why I've always liked Howard Stern. Like Howard Stern like gives a good interview, but Howard Stern like pushes people and like gets stuff out of them. Not that Howard Stern's sitting there fucking like, you know, I mean he fucking had Hillary Clinton on and fucking, you know, let her walk all over fucking Bernie Sanders, even though Bernie Sanders was like the
used
only
to give
guy.
good interviews. I
No,
don't
he
think he
still
does
does.
anymore.
No, he does,
Eh.
but he doesn't give.
Yeah.
He doesn't push people. Is what anyway, it doesn't matter. Fuck Lex Friedman.
Wow.
Okay.
That's aggressive.
Well, on to the etc. news. The first piece, since we talked about her last week, we'll talk about her this week. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Her movie documentary has already surpassed $100 million in pre-sales.
I didn't even know there was a movie coming out or something. I didn't-
God.
She's doing this is making it the highest grossing concert movie ever made. It's basically a documentary type concert movie that shows how she came to prolific fame and everything. So that opens
I fuck
up
with Taylor
this
Swift.
weekend. And that one, like,
Oh.
I mean, anything she does turns to fucking solid gold. So, I mean,
Oh, these Republicans, they hate her, boy. Oh my God, that's all I've been seeing. Fucking what's his name? His career's over because he's dating Taylor Swift. What is he doing? Fucking idiot. Fucking crazy, bro. That's all they're talking about.
Okay.
World War
I don't
III is
know.
about to
This-
break out, and they're fucking worried about Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
This was going to be my segue, but I didn't think it was close enough. So this is the second to last piece of news. The late, great Michael Crichton
Ah, yeah.
had a partially written manuscript about a volcano in Hawaii. Hawaii is one of his favorite places to write about, spawned his obsession with Jurassic Park and whatnot.
Yep.
His wife, Sherry, took and handed off to James Patterson to finish. Now, these two together combined have sales of over 675 million books. Michael Crichton being one who sold 200 millions, and James Patterson have the other 475 million. He might be one of the most successful authors of all time.
Michael Crichton?
No, James Patterson.
Oh, James
Patterson.
Patterson.
Is that the fucking
475 million books sold versus Michael Crichton's 200 million. Yeah.
Where does, just out of curiosity, where does Stephen King stack up in that number?
I don't know. You'd have to Google that.
I see James Patterson books
Stephen
all the
King
fucking time.
Books sold. Stephen King's at 400 million. So yeah,
I was
James
gonna
Patterson
say.
topped him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Stephen King's definitely up there.
Yeah, but the book is finished with a release date of June 3rd, and it's called Eruption. And the plot is once in a century volcano eruption of Hawaii's Mauna Loa volcano threatens a secret cache of chemical weapons that can destroy not only the island, but the world.
Whoa. That sounds like a job for the
The
Avengers.
world?
Yeah.
Oh,
Expect a massive bidding war for this movie next year. Sometimes people are going to be breaking their own fucking bank to try and get the rights to this. Cause this is like, some people were talking like this combination between Crichton and Patterson is like when Spielberg and fucking Lucas got together to do Indiana Jones. And so that's
A
what
little
they're
tone
like.
deaf.
So they're fucking salivating over this shit.
It is a little tone deaf, given that.
Maybe read the room, Mike.
Well, he's dead. So
Well, and that's funny because James actually mentioned that. He's like, Crichton could see the future almost with all the shit that happened in Hawaii, like fucking, all that, the land that burned and shit and everything else. But anywho, we got that to look forward to. So I don't know. I doubt I'll read the book, but I'll definitely watch the movie.
how the fuck was
Maybe
that
I'll
going to be
read
the
the
segue?
Sci-fi thriller suspense coming out.
Okay.
But I wanted to get a little more on the nose. I couldn't find any real good alien news. So we're going right on the nose.
Couldn't
Brian
find any
Duffy,
real alien news. You got to talk to Owen for that. He's up on all of
You
it.
should have brought him on for that segue.
Oh, I had Ring is giving out an award if you can catch an alien on
I
your
know.
fucking doorbell camera.
He sent
You
that.
saw,
To
you
me.
did
you
send
saw
me
that
that
was
the other day.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot
But
of
Brian
millionaires
Duffy
out
sat
there.
down with the Hollywood Reporter to discuss his latest movie, No One Will Save You.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a couple. This is a pretty good interview. If you like it, if you like him or you like this movie, I would recommend go reading the whole thing. But he had a couple of really important things that we try and drill in all the time when we talk about movies. He talked about the theatrical release because this came out on Hulu, and he said he didn't really care. And he actually loved the idea of people watching an alien home invasion film in the dark in their homes. So he was like, I don't care. Because they asked him, like, did the studio give you any pressure to make it a theatrical release? And then something that I actually didn't notice until the film when I started reading some of the reviews is the dialogue. There absolutely is almost none.
Mm-hmm.
There's maybe like
There's like
3 or 5
lines.
lines. No, there's a couple lines, but he was asked if there was any pushback from the studio, and there wasn't, but there was a joke about not having to do any ADR, which he said there was actually a lot more ADR than people actually realized because her breathing or screaming or panting, they had ADR, that stuff. So,
Yeah.
But the big thing for me was like the script length. And he said that comes from being a script reader back in the day and having to read 2 scripts a night and opening long scripts and just hating them.
Yep.
So his is always around 90 pages. That's the standard for him. He loves doing that. And he says it's the same for writing, or the same for writing around 90 pages is the same for watching movies, is around 90 minutes. The long ones suck. So yeah, he 90 minutes is a sweet spot. He said once you get into that 2-hour mark, you're kind of pushing the limit of keeping people captivated, or they're starting to get restless or have to go to the bathroom or something. So then his short scripts and his 90-minute mark is He's like, it's the sweet spot of movies, and that's what we talk about all the time: is get in, get out, make a good movie. Sometimes there's exceptions to that, obviously, because like Endgame, you kind of got to make it a little bit longer.
I don't mind long
minutes,
movies as long as it's good. But like sometimes people be making
but
long movies that are like.
I appreciate a 90-minute movie. I think it, like he said, it's the sweet spot. So
yeah.
11:11. That's the end of the news.
This one felt a little long for 90 minutes, but let's get into it. Thank you, Dusty, for the news. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Today, we're talking about No One Will Save You, a Hulu exclusive. Came out on September 22nd, so we're a little late to the party. I was excited to watch this movie because the trailer is fucking good for this movie. Maybe the trailer is a little bit better than the movie itself, but
way better.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, as you mentioned, this is directed by Brian Duffield. This is his second film, I believe.
Yes, this is sophomore.
He directed another movie called Spontaneous, which I've never really heard of. But he has written a couple of things. He wrote a movie that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago here on the show. It was a movie that just cropped up on Netflix a while back called Love and Monsters, which I thought was really fucking good.
Right.
And he also wrote the Babysitter movies that are also on Netflix, I think.
He's written quite a few. Some have been made, some haven't. He actually talks about some of those in that interview.
Yeah. But this is a movie. It's a spec script that he wrote, and you guys might not know this. A spec script is unlike a regular script. Spec script is specifically plot oriented, story oriented to sell the concept to producers, and there's where a regular script that's ready for shooting has like all the camera movements and like exterior, night, all that fucking all that stuff. This was not that. Obviously they eventually will develop that, but this was based off of a spec script. And this movie had a nice humble little budget of $22.8 million. And we got Kaitlyn Dever starring as the main character, Bryn. She the only movie I've ever seen her in was the female version of fucking Superbad. What was that movie called again? I
don't know. I just know her as a Loretta from Justified.
Yeah, I know she was in Justified, but what the fuck was the movie? Oh, Booksmart. She was in that Booksmart movie. That was like the big role I had seen her in. She's our star. We also have a couple of like random nobodies that show up in the movie. I'm not even going to bother to fucking read them off because they're not important.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, this is basically a home invasion, but like Alien style, which is a very interesting concept to me. Now, I ain't going to lie to you guys.
It was interesting, yeah.
I was ready to come in here and shit on this movie until about 5 minutes before we started recording, having thought about it for like an hour or two after watching it. Kind of changed my mind a little bit, not going to lie to you. But I want to hear what you guys think first. Marvin's very unhappy. Go ahead, Marvin. What you got for me?
I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know. I was not interested at all by the plot, really. It was kind of just something to watch. The atmosphere felt super weird compared to the trailer. Like it wasn't dark or scary enough or something. It felt a little juvenile, a little bit. I don't know. I felt a little deceived after everything was said and done.
You got scammed?
Compared to the trailer.
Felt like I got Well, the trailer is interesting because they never actually said this movie had no dialogue, right? And I didn't know that going into it. And when I was watching the movie, I was like 15 minutes in. I'm like, why the fuck? Like, she's just, why am I only getting her huffing and puffing for 15 minutes? Like, what's going on? And then I like obviously realized like, oh, this must not have any dialogue, which I thought was interesting. And I've mentioned movies without dialogue before, namely the one with Robert Redford where he's stranded at sea, all is lost. Fantastic fucking movie.
Because we were talking about another movie that's coming up that's not going to have any dialogue.
Yep, we did talk about that.
I saw the trailer for that when I was seeing Saw. That was cool.
Let me tell you something. It takes a fucking hell of a performance to really pull that off. And I think for the most part, she was very good in this movie and pulled that off. But there were a lot of times where she wasn't. mostly in like the beginning of the movie, I don't think was very good. And I don't know if it was her performance. I mean, she didn't really have much to do. And that's sort of, I guess, a writing and direction choice where she's just kind of like going about her day, going like, like
Yeah.
that dragged on a little bit too long, I think, for the not having the dialogue. Obviously, it works better during tense and scary moments because there's, there's more acting to do,
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought
to be fair, there's also a lot of dialogue in this movie. You just don't understand what's being said.
yes, which is where I
hate
thought.
that.
Well, no, I actually disagree with you, Marvin. I thought that was very
Hated it.
creative because, well, let's just say so. She is framed in the beginning of the movie. She's like, it's bizarre. She's bizarre. There's something weird about her. She lives in like this fucking like 50s-esque home in the middle of nowhere. She's got a fucking rotary phone. She's building a model of her town. She's like gets in her car.
That was
and
cool.
she's got like anxiety.
Those
to
are
fucking
good phones to have.
go into yeah, okay, Mr. fucking Doomsday Prepper over here. She's got fucking
We're
what?
talking about the end of the world. Those are the only phones that are going to work
Ooh,
when the end of the
true,
world
that's
happens.
true.
World War III?
Yeah.
Try and make a phone call on
I
your
can't
fucking
wait
cell
to
phone.
call
Good
my
luck.
friends.
Yeah. So yeah, there's something off about her. And then she's going to mail some packages because she does some like Etsy shit, it looks like. And when she gets into town, she's like got this anxiety to like it's almost like she's agoraphobic, but it's not. You quickly realize she's sort of like this town pariah.
Yeah.
But you don't know why until like later in the film. The rest of the introduction to her is she's writing a letter to somebody that you don't know of, and you don't really know what happened. You just get the impression it's somebody she lost touch with. Like, I think 10 years was the time that is in the letter. I can't believe it's been 10 years. And very quickly into the movie, she's sleeping at night and fucking weird shit starts happening. Lights flickering, radios playing, windows opening, doors. I don't ghosts and aliens must fucking they must have like a fucking like fucking with people support group, because in all these fucking movies with aliens and ghosts, they're doing the same exact shit. They're fucking opening your refrigerator, they're fucking rifling through your bookshelves and all kinds like flicking lights. Like, what the fuck? And that's pretty much what's going on here. So she wakes up and she realizes that she has an intruder in the home, and it's not soon after that she realizes, oh, there's a fucking alien, which we knew from the trailer. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Fucking allergies, bro. Doing a number on me. But yeah, and that's pretty much like the surface level like plot of the movie. It's her. It's like a Home Alone meets fucking like just a horror movie kind of, and it's with aliens. And during this first night. Now, you mentioned, Marvin, the movie's not really scary, which I agree it's not. But there were a lot of real creepy moments, I think. Very effective, creepy things. Especially the first encounter with the alien. When he's like slowly but surely like tracking her through the house. And then eventually she gets trapped behind the refrigerator door. And you get the fucking fingies fucking come over the thing. And it like, like that was pretty creepy.
That was creepy. I didn't like that the reveal was so early, but I understand that was probably the direction. They weren't obsessed about the invasion of the alien. It was about this whole other big ordeal, which is why I kind of felt like I got bamboozled.
Well, maybe I could change your mind, because I thought the same thing. I was watching this movie and I was like, what the fuck is this movie even about? Like, what are we watching this for? Because really it's like one long chase scene.
Yeah.
And the chase scene just changes scenery, right? It starts out in this first night. The daytime breaks and she fucking goes into town. She tries to go into town, realizes her car's not working because, of course, fucking aliens fucking disable cars. And every fucking piece of alien thing ever, they disable cars. Like, we just know that, apparently. And
close encounters.
So she takes her fucking bike into town. She fucking goes into the police station where she gets spit on by some fucking lady, and the
assault.
And the sheriff like looks at her and is like, ugh, fucking walks away. So you're like, oh boy, man, the town really fucking hates her. Then we get our moment where she's at a gravestone and we see the name of the person she was addressing the letter to. So now we're starting to connect the dots. Like, okay, this is a lost person. This is a dead person. Is it her mom or sister, or fucking friend, whatever, yada, yada.
Well, you know, she's related to the sheriff too, because you see his name tag.
Yes, the person she's writing the letter to is related to the sheriff. So the pieces are starting to come together. Then she gets fucking home. And she starts fucking Kevin McAllistering her fucking house. She's fucking boarding up the fucking windows. She's setting traps, putting fucking RC cars on the floor and marbles and shit for them to slip on and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yep.
And the aliens make quick fucking work of that shit, boy. Now, here's a problem I have with the movie. At first. Now I don't. But I'm watching this movie. They established the alien like superpowers like pretty early on. Like they're fucking smart. They have obviously heightened senses that we don't have as human beings, and
telekinetic.
And their big thing is that they have powerful telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's like some parts where like the aliens are chasing her. It just doesn't like logically make any sense, other than the fact that they're like fucking with her, which might be the case. But like the refrigerator scene's a great example, because when he could have easily just like fucking used the force to fucking move the refrigerator out of the way, he's fucking doing his creepy finger and like peeking over shit. It's like you're only fucking with her at that point, because in the very next scene you fucking toss a door at her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So some of that stuff didn't really add up for me, which again, it doesn't really matter, I think, by the end of it. But the next phase of the chase is her basically out and about in the town again, realizing that this is a much bigger invasion that's taking place. And she comes upon some neighbors that clearly have some sort of alien parasite embedded in their neck, and they're fucking looking up at the fucking ships coming in, and they're fucking like taking over or whatever, body snatched or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like this much bigger invasion. And again, I'm watching this, I'm like, what the fuck is this movie even about? Like, it can't just be a movie without dialogue that's like one long chase. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like a little bit bored because it's not super scary. It's creepy at times. I don't give a shit enough about her to really care about like what her backstory is and why she's weird, because there's no dialogue. And I thought there should have, like, there's scenes that they threw in the movie that it's logically makes no sense to have no dialogue, other than the fact that you just didn't want to have dialogue in your movie. Like the police station, for instance. It's a very weird scene that, like, she just stands there, like, it gets spit on, and then there's just, like, more of the thing, and then it just didn't really fit in the movie. But I
think that was, you guys, I didn't like the lack of dialogue. I felt that Bryn, she wasn't compelling enough to pull it off, so I really didn't have much attachment to her, like you said.
Yeah. Dusty, give us a little bit of... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Marvin.
I was actually a little pissed when she killed the alien, but after they started wilding out, I forgave her. So,
okay. All right. Well, Dusty, give us a little bit of what you thought before I...
Yeah. So I thought this movie was actually fascinating, and I thought I was going to go in a different direction completely. When she discovers that, like, the people have the voice thing in them, right? On the bus. Mm-hmm. And then she goes home and she sees the dead alien, and she saw that something crawled out of its mouth. I'm like, wait a second. Are these little aliens controlling bigger aliens, and they're here for help or something? Like, is this going to turn into some cool fucking sci-fi horror? Like, I thought there was going to be a twist that never happened. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know. I came away with the movie a little bit different. I about 30 minutes in, I was like, I wish they would have told, like, why she is this way. I know exposition sucks sometimes, but I would have liked to seen what happened to her and why she is an outcast in the beginning of the movie, so that I can understand a little bit more. But they build it up slowly to unveil it at the end, which in some movies works better than others. I would have probably preferred it the opposite this way. But I mean, I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was fascinating.
Well, I just want to say,
I like the fact that there were different size aliens. And one of the things that because they're all different. But one of the things, like when the big alien, the long leg, the super long one, that was like crawling on top of the house, like
alien.
That was
yeah.
so weird.
When he chased her, I was like, okay, wait, but he could just grab her. Like, why? Why is he chasing her? Because we already know they have telekinesis. So I agree with you. There were some stupid points of like, are they just fucking with her, or is this just supposed to be scary because it's just one long chase scene? Like, so I can get some of the complaints, but I still found the movie fascinating and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree with all those points. Same, I agree with all your points too, Marvin. And I felt that way through the whole movie. And again, the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, what am I watching? What's the point of this? And it wasn't until like literally about an hour or two after that I kept thinking about it that I was like, oh wait, I actually really like this movie. And I'm gonna tell you why. So all those like dumb things, the logic things, her backstory, none of it actually really matters. And I think it actually strengthens the movie that they did it this way. But
Well, it does.
Well, so hang on. So allow me to explain, right? So this movie has so much ambiguity to it, which is paid off at the end, because the ending, which I don't want to say yet, the ending was like really jarring.
Yes.
Because of the buildup of the movie. So because of the lack of dialogue, because of the lack of exposition, because of like it's just one big chase scene and you're sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? The ending is like a gut punch where you're like, wait, what? Like what the fuck what the fuck just happened?
Right.
And it's going back and later and thinking about it and figuring out how it played out. So folks, the end of this movie is basically she finally she gets caught after all this running from different sized aliens and shit. She gets caught, she gets abducted, and the aliens like take a peek into her fucking brain, and that is essentially showing the audience like what actually happened to her.
That's the exposition of her history, yeah.
That's the exposition, which in my opinion was a little bit stupid, but whatever. She killed her friend with a rock. They got into like a little scuffle and she fucking hit her friend with a rock and killed her. She became the town pariah. But it turns out, and I didn't get this when I first watched it. I really didn't, because I was very confused. I was like, what the fuck? How'd we get from point A to B to C? And I had to think about it. And I was like, oh, wait. So, but the end of this movie, she's abducted. She's sent back to Earth after the aliens fucking like take a look into her past. And there's like this little like, what's the word I'm looking for? Was like a dance scene or like a montage. There's a montage of her like just like having this like happy-go-lucky fucking life in this town where she's riding a bike and she goes and there she's dancing with like all these people, and you see that they all have the alien fucking thing in her. So actually what happened was the aliens used the parasite to basically take over all these bodies because those people were unwilling to fucking become subjugated by the aliens, essentially. They had to take control of their bodies in order for them to cooperate. But she was so unhappy with her state in this town that they didn't even have to do that to her. All they had to do was make her feel welcomed.
They gave her the life that she always wanted that she wasn't able to live because she was a pariah. She got to live happily ever after because she's no longer
she doesn't care.
A recluse in her home. She can go out and be social and wave, and they're all happy to see her because they know, hey, that's her. Yeah.
So the aliens look into her past and see like how fucked up her life has been because of this incident. And they're just like, she doesn't need a fucking parasite. Send her back.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
She's fine.
So she's just accepted and whatever. So it's actually.
But do you think that there were others like her that we just never see?
Who knows?
Is that implied or?
It doesn't matter. The only thing that's implied is that aliens have invaded the Earth. And it's at that point when I realized that I ended up really liking this movie because it is like an episode of The Twilight Zone. This is exactly the way a Twilight Zone episode would be.
That makes it better, but
and it's also like
Stephen King mentions that in Twitter. Like he raved about this movie when he saw it. He's like, you got to go back to like the '60s for a Twilight Zone to see something this fucking great.
A lot of people are raving about it, and I didn't understand why when I was watching. I was like, what the fuck are people liking about this movie? Like, her performance is like for the most part very good, and like. But then once you realize it's a Twilight Zone episode, none of those other things matter because there's so much ambiguity in the movie. And the movie, there's so much ambiguity. You know, we mentioned earlier, the only dialogue you actually that there is in the movie is fake fucking alien noises and how they communicate with one each other. But it made them feel alien to me. Because there's been other alien movies. Obviously, there's the Alien series where they're just monsters, basically. But the cultural zeitgeist in real life of aliens is this. It's this imagery. It's the grays, they call them. The big eyes, the big heads, they're humanoids, right? But beyond that, you don't know anything. So I thought it was really creative to give them this like sort of like type of communication. They also do that like weird fucking Egyptian shit for no reason when they're just like fucking
fucking gang banging shit.
They're fucking weird. They're fucking gang banging shit.
Sides.
They're popping and locking. Yeah, there's the one scene which was creepy as fuck too. There's the one scene where the little alien who was chasing her through the house, for no reason whatsoever, he just stops and he's like, and he's just fucking staring at her. And
I got different tones, like the different aliens talking, like the little alien with the giant hands. I'm like, okay, this guy is saying something different to her.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And then the other one's like, I'm gonna get you, bitch.
And
so
beyond that,
come on over.
Well, but beyond that, you don't even know if they're hostile because the original, like the humanoid ones, it kind of could have gone either way. Like he only became hostile when she fucking knocked the fridge into him. But before that, you don't really know what he's doing. He's just like rummaging through a fucking house.
Well, I mean, technically they're hostile because they want to, you know,
but you don't find that out later on. Is what I'm saying is as they reveal the different versions of them.
That's why I was saying I was pissed when she killed the alien, but after you understand,
right.
Out. Yeah.
I felt bad for him when she.
Well, I didn't know that she did it intentionally. Like
she did.
She just had the thing. She just had the thing in her hand, and it spun her around. That could have been like, you know,
that was kind of a flashback to how she killed her friend. I think they were trying to tie that together somehow, but I couldn't really understand it that much.
Well, the same thing. She did it in like she spun around with the rock in the heat of the moment. Which, like, if my friend pushed me, now. All right,
I ain't grabbing a rock and hitting my friend.
No, but this is also why I think this movie's great. Because there's so much ambiguity in it. It's not as simple as just she hit her friend with a rock. There's something wrong with this bitch. Okay? And her living situation fucking tells that. Her mom is dead. We know her mom is dead. What the fuck is the deal with her and her family? Like, there's so many
no family.
There's so many ambiguous questions that are unanswered that make this such a better fucking story because she's weird. It's not just that she killed her friend. She's weird. She's living in a house that's like the decor is fucking 1940s, 1950s. She has a rotary phone. She's building a model of like her idyllic little fucking town. Like, she's weird, dude. There's something weird about her. And it strengthens the movie, I think, personally. Whether it was done on purpose or not, I think it was done on purpose. It's not just the fact that she killed her friend. I saw some comments. I didn't look at too many, but I saw some comments where it's like, no, this movie's about like no one will save you. Like only you could save you and like climb out of your despair or whatever. No. You look
there's subtleties to all of it. They're not technically wrong, but that's not what it's about.
No, this is straight up at the end of the day a Twilight Zone episode. It is just there's this thing happening and it's weird as fuck, and that's that. And at the end there's an alien invasion and she's dealing and that's like she's just whatever. And it reminded me also of 10 Cloverfield Lane, how that movie like had this ambiguity to it. You don't really know what's going on in the outside world. And then when they escape, you see that there's an alien invasion. And he was like right the whole time. But like, I don't know. Again, at first I hated it. Went back, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, okay. And then everything just clicked for me. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Twilight Zone. And the alien part of it too, like again, they felt very alien. There was the communication. Their fucking weird stances that they did for no fucking reason. That shit was creepy. And even she was like, what the fuck is this thing doing? And he was just fucking sitting there. And then sometimes they would fucking do the ship was fucking super creative. Like the outside of it and the inside of it. How the fucking tractor beams worked. Like it all just felt very alien. And I really like that because there's been a lot of alien movies before. But again, the Alien series, they just feel like monsters. There was a movie called like Dark Skies or some shit with like grays. And they were just like, you know, basically fucking ghosts doing weird shit. This actually made aliens feel like aliens to me more than any other movie ever did, personally. And it kind of left just a lingering feeling of like, well, the lingering feeling of like what the fuck was going on here that at first made me dislike the movie ultimately made me like it in the end, because I think that it was meant to be that way.
Yeah.
And the lack of dialogue.
You see all
also
the
strengthened
spaceships.
that.
I mean, it was, in the end, it was futile for her to do all the things she did, because obviously they were going to get to her sooner or later, because
Right.
they were all over the place because there's so many ships. But
Yeah.
they still let her live her life because of the trauma or whatever, and they felt she was different. And who knows how many people they did or didn't do that to, but I thought it was fascinating.
The ships in the sky seem to indicate that like they invaded Earth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they're just taking over people to use them for whatever the fuck. But her and maybe other people they didn't have to take her over because she's willing to do whatever they want solely because she's able to not be a pariah anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I'm looking into it a little bit too much, but I do think that there's still like this weirdness about her that makes me more interested. I'm like, wow, like what is her deal really actually at the end of the day? Like there's just something bizarre and off about her, I think.
Yeah, she's a weirdo.
Like she's listening to 50s music. She's fucking the decor of the house. Like it doesn't take place in the 50s.
Nope.
Unless it does take place in like not modern times and I just missed it.
No, her car was definitely modern.
She had like a station wagon, didn't she?
It was an 80s or 90s station wagon.
Yeah.
It was definitely not a 50s station wagon.
Well, when I say, I'm talking like, did it take place in 2023? There was no real cell phones in the movie or anything like that.
Yeah, no, it could have been 10 or 20 years ago, but it was definitely like, I owned a station wagon. It was a 79 Ford Country Squire.
Yeah, for sure.
Her car is easily 10 or 20 years newer than the car I had.
And there was also like a little bit of like a little nod to like crop circles, like, hey, it's just part of their tractor beams.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what the tractor beams leave behind.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think ultimately I really liked it, but it took me a little bit of thinking, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, you missed it, Marvin. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, or anybody who didn't like it. I can totally understand. Like not having dialogue for an entire movie, like, you know, it's trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's trying on your like. It's hard.
That one threw me for a loop too.
Yeah, it's hard to keep your attention.
Like she's walking out and she's gonna water. Like I was like, wait, there's a circle in the ground. Like is she gonna stand there and walk in circles and water all the grass around her? But no, she was actually trying to water the brown grass. I was like, is this her routine? What's going on? Because I was trying to predict all kind of things with this movie, and everything threw me for a loop.
And that's ultimately. I would imagine why they did all the things that either this movie like tried like really fucking hard to be clever, original, and deep, and like stumbled onto something really good like completely by accident, or it was all done on purpose. Which of those two things is the case? I don't know, but but yeah, I mean. This movie's been getting like raved about. Some people I'm looking at reviews. Some people like hated it and some people loved it. Yeah, I actually ended up really liking it. It's not what I expected. So,
Same.
Yeah,
that helped. Before we give our ratings, is there anything else you guys want to say about it? Marvin? Did I change it? Did your opinion change at all based off of my take on it or Dusty's take on it?
It gave it a little bit more.
Okay.
Open up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the movie did some good things, like the special effects and CGI, and the sounds were really good.
Yeah, the sounds
probably
were
where
great.
all the budget went, because there's really not many practical elements. It had to be all CGI for the aliens, right?
Yeah.
The car fire.
I bet this was a
even
blast to
CGI.
watch in theaters, actually.
Probably. I mean, speaking of the CGI, I mean, for a $20 million budget, I mean, you could tell it's like the aliens, they don't look great.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I like the toes. In the beginning, the way that motherfucker was getting up, down on his heel and up on his toes and just gliding.
Well,
That
I just
was
mean like
so weird,
when you're up close with the aliens, you could tell it's like some pretty, cheap CGI, but it still looked good. I mean, it didn't look bad.
It's passable.
Yeah, it
for
didn't
sure.
look
It didn't.
bad.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Special effects, the sound design was like really fucking good. Like their tones that they made, because they really fleshed out those, like the communication, like Dusty said. Like it's clear that like the 3 versions of the aliens like have different abilities and different, like, not motivations, but like they're just they do different things.
Just different personalities. Yeah, they're different. Because when you get like alien invasions, usually it's like a hive mind, and they're all fucking exactly the same, and they all do the exact, like, they actually showed. And that's one thing that I really liked about this was like, oh, there's a little tiny one with some giant hands, and there's a normal one that looks like a human, and then there's a fucking giant one that looks like Slender Man. Like, this is fucking crazy. Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah. No, it was super creative, but like the tones were very different. They like, you know, it just seemed like a language, that like it could be a language. I thought that was really creative. And that again, just to tie that back into the sound, that's like solely based on the sound design, because and like the little neck ripples that they did when they were communicating.
Well, and that's one thing where it like leaves you with more questions than answers, is like thoughtfulness of the movie. Like, because I thought these aliens were being controlled by that thing just like the humans were. Apparently they weren't, but they pull these things out of them and put them into humans. So is that like what is that thing? Like, they're still alive when it comes out of them and it goes into humans. So does that one alien control that one human? Like, do they have some sort of link, or do they grow another one and they can put another one in another human? Like, I have all kinds of questions about, you know, where it leaves. This is one of those movies where it leaves you with a lot of questions, and it makes you think.
There's a lot of questions, because like the people seem to be, so we saw what it does to a human. We got a glimpse of it before she pulled it out of herself. It just puts you in like a fucking, you basically having a fucking trip.
Yeah.
And you're hallucinating. And that's why at the end, those people were all fucking like just happy and shit, like, because they don't know what the fuck is going on. But what, so it's not necessarily controlling a person.
To what end, though?
Well, I guess it is kind of controlling them, because there were the ones in the bus that were pretty violent. So, yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
They were just trying to get her because they knew that, you know.
Who knows? This honestly, again, all those questions, I think, strengthened it by the end, because it felt like a John Carpenter. It felt like Halloween, really, in that same vein. Like, there is no explanation to Michael Myers. He's just a fucking psychopath in a mask, and now he's gone. Or any episode of the Twilight Zone, any of the good episodes, like, you're just witnessing something weird happen with no explanation, and then you're on with your day, and that's it. So yeah, I really liked it. It's got a pretty low rating. It's got a 6.3 on IMDb. I'm gonna bump it. I'm gonna give it the bump. I'm going with a 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay.
I'll give it a 7 too. Like, it deserves the bump. I liked it. Like I said, the pacing. There were a couple of issues I had. Like I said, like, I would have liked a little exposition about her, but I understand why they saved that to the end, and that kind of explains it. That hits on the notes of, they saw that she lived this solitary life and she was a recluse and a pariah and all those things, so she can live happily amongst the drone humans,
as long as
she doesn't care. As long as she doesn't care.
Yeah, as long as they treat her nicely.
Yeah,
as long as they don't spit on her.
So, I mean, I think it was a fascinating. And this guy Brian Duffield, I'm actually interested in more of his work. Like, he's written quite a few things. Like, he did the Skull Island animated series, and like you said, Love and Monsters is really good. I haven't seen. And then Spontaneous, his first directorial debut. I want to go check that. So I'm gonna put this guy down on my watch list and see if some of his other stuff is good.
Well, before this movie came out, he said that he was not interested in doing a sequel, but maybe he would entertain it depending on how successful this one was, or the reception of it. And not shortly after its release, he is now open to doing a sequel. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know how you sequel this. I don't.
Hey, maybe we see a post-invasion world. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know
what that look. I don't know. Yeah.
Those ships were fucking cool, though.
Yeah, they were. I really liked the tractor beams.
Oh yeah, the tractor beams was sick, because it was like violent. It was just like
Oh yeah, the effects of the lights and
was
how
just
they
there and
did
then it
that was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the way they threw her on the ceiling and on the floor and caught her and flipped her around, and like I thought
There was the
it
red
was
lights
thoughtful
that
and-
like you kind of
Yes.
get that like are like weapons, and then there's the blue lights, which is for like transport. So there's so many little like elements that kind of like give you glimpses and pieces to put together, but it never actually fleshes it all out. And I just think that was
none
cool.
of it's explained. It's left to you and the
Yeah.
imagination that you have to think and theorize, and that's
Yeah.
what I like about movies like this.
Yeah.
Imagination.
Real quick before we wrap up, do you guys think that this had that like subtext about like fucking trauma and all that? I don't really think it did. I think people are kind of reaching with that. I guess I could see how that would be
You could
there.
see like I don't know, maybe.
Well, you could see her trauma coming out. Like she obviously killed her friend, and there were a couple times where the excitement got too much to her, and she's running around like flailing her hands, like trying to breathe. Like I don't know if you guys heard like,
Yeah, she had anxiety.
yeah, the anxiety was being so like, so I can see how like, and that's just building up on the trauma she's had, which you don't know of at the time. So, I mean, I can see how you could say it's about trauma because you see it come out in her every time something serious happens, but I don't know that necessarily the movie is about trauma.
Yeah. I can see, I mean, yeah, I don't think so either. But I had seen, like I said, a couple of people being like, oh no, this is about psychology, like forgiving yourself and this, that, and the other thing. But again, I really would love to interview this dude because I really think there's something deeper to her than like meets the eye. Cause like on its own, right? If your friend pushes you and you're having a little fight, to turn around and then crack your friend over the fucking head with a rock,
Yeah, you're sick.
that's such a wild like reaction or response.
Well, and there's no dialogue, so you don't know what the fight is actually about.
Well,
Like,
right, but I'm saying on its own, that is such an insane response to being pushed. And if
Yes.
if you were to just, in my opinion, if you were to just put that in the movie, and it's like, oh yeah, she hit her with a rock over, like it could have been anything else, right? Think of that.
Right.
It could have been they were out partying one night and she got drunk and drove home and got into an accident and killed her friend, or fucking, literally anything that like friends
Yeah, it
do.
could be like
Accidents happen all the time.
My parents are getting divorced, and it's your fault, and I'm going to shove you to the ground. Like,
Well, no,
you,
no, no,
there's-
no, no,
you don't know.
No, you missed my point. I'm not talking about the fight. I'm talking about how she killed her friend. It could have been
Oh yeah,
anything.
sure.
Kids do dumb shit all the time. Like I said, you go out partying, you drinking too much, you fucking crash your car, your friend dies. It could have been all sorts of shit, but it was specifically this like act of violence that does not add up to me that makes her such a more interesting character because something's fucking weird about her. I'm telling you, something's weird.
Maybe.
Did she even fucking go to like juvenile or anything for that shit? Or she
Who the
just got
fuck
away with
knows?
murder?
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? And like,
Maybe her friend did something horrible, and she's like, "I'm going to tell on you." She's like, "You better not tell on me, or I'll fucking really." We don't.
well, I don't think the fight matters. That's where I think you and I are miscommunicating, Dusty. I don't think the fight itself matters. I'm talking about the sheer act of hitting her with a rock is, I think, a very specific and like, I think it's a very specific idea to make
I
that
don't
the
know.
means of death.
I think. I just think in an act of
I've gotten into fucking fights with friends all the time.
in
I
an
know.
act of but as a teenager, especially in an act of passion, you can do things
No, for sure.
that you didn't mean to do. Kids kill kids all the time on accident
And I thought that at first.
for little to no reason.
I did that. I did think that at first. I was like, hey, it was whatever. Crime of passion. But now I'm really just sitting here like, nah, there's got to be more to it than that. Like something's up. Something's up with her.
Interesting.
Something is up with her.
It's certainly plausible.
It just makes it more interesting, I think. I mean, just the fact that we're talking about it makes this a more interesting movie because it all works with that ambiguity.
Absolutely.
True.
Even the fucking town was ambiguous. Like, where is this fucking place? We don't know. It's in the middle of
Right.
fucking nowhere. Like who the fuck knows? So
It looks like a town of about 10, 15,000 people. And
yeah, who knows? But
and
there you have
Who
it,
knows
folks. No one will save
There
you
have it.
on Hulu. Check it out if you haven't.
Not bad. Like I said, not bad. Just a little misleading for me.
yeah, for sure, a little misleading, but
Well, I think that the trailer was like pretty. I mean, the trailer was definitely misleading, but again, I think it was kind of like part of that. Like, the movie is like playful. I feel like with the audience, and I feel like the trailer kind of was too.
And like I agree with Marvin, it was misleading because I went in thinking this was going to be a completely different movie.
Totally.
Albeit, I will say that I was pleasantly surprised. I understand how Marvin could be a little let down by what he watched because of the misleading of the trailer. So I get
Just
it.
a little bit.
Hey, he gave it a good rating. 6.5 is good.
We're just in spooky season,
watchable,
so I was
right?
expecting. Yeah, definitely watchable. It's like I said, I think I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, and we don't get tripped up by all the jump scares because they try to put some jump scares in this movie, but it was like, I mean, some of them for us is gonna be like, yeah, okay.
I mean, again, I did find the movie very creepy. I didn't, I wasn't scared.
It was, there were some creepy spots and it was suspenseful for me. So I like I said, if it's suspenseful and it's a thriller, you get up there into scary, creepy territory.
Yeah, well, we know that's hard to do. So, but yeah, folks, check out the movie if you haven't seen it already, and leave a comment letting us know what you think. I'd be curious to know what other people think about it because the reviews online are pretty divided. It's like like from what I'm seeing, people either hated it or loved it. So,
Wow.
If you've watched it,
I don't see how you could hate it though. That's a bit extreme.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Before I actually like gave it an extra thought after I finished it, I did kind of hate it. I was like, man, that was.
Oh wow.
I don't know what the fuck I watched. It was like kind of boring. Like I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It was. I did a complete flip, and that usually never happens to me. And I didn't read anything that convinced me otherwise. Like I was thinking about it. I was like, there's got to be something. Like this couldn't have just been the movie. And then, and like the first, like when I watched it, as soon as I finished it, I didn't actually really like pick up on that ending until I thought about it. So,
right.
Yeah. Yep. But people either hate it or love it. So let us know, folks. Leave a comment if you've seen it. Did you hate it? Did you love it? We want to know about it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. It'd be very helpful to us. We put out new episodes every Tuesday and a smattering of videos in between. So if you liked what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. But otherwise, what are we watching next week? I don't think anybody picked.
We haven't decided.
One of you is supposed to pick. I'm making the executive decision right now.
Poltergeist is going to be on my list.
No.
We had two slots. And I hadn't picked one because I hadn't been home to look at my notes, and Poltergeist is on my list. So.
All right. Well, there's another horror movie that I heard was really fucking good that I really want to watch called Saint Maud. I mentioned it multiple times.
Well, if we have another slot.
We have two slots.
I think we had 2 slots. Yeah, okay.
You guys go with Saint Maud?
It's settled.
6.7. I've heard it's really good. All right, next week. Come back next week, folks. You've seen the decision making, how the sausage is made live. We're watching Saint Maud. We're going to let you know what we thought about that. Supposedly it's a mesmerizing horror masterpiece, a religious experience, an unholy terror. So we'll see. We'll see. We're trying to get scared. It's Halloween, after all. But yeah.
That's right.
Until next time, thank you for listening and hanging out with us, folks. We'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Basta.